Hey, what's up everybody? RJ Sid, Chicago Cash Flow Property, Chicago #1 site for real estate investing information as well as wholesale deals. What's going on? I hope you're having a great week. I sure did. I know I was pretty busy and I haven't put out a newsletter or content in a while. Just doing what I do, you know, looking at properties and whatnot. But anyway, I also wanted to do a quick shout out to Jay Henderson. Basically, Jay and I worked together last year. I introduced him to a lot of the wholesaling ups and downs. He was already, you know, stimulated by seminar and webinars and Helenars and Bedinars. So we were able to fine tune a little bit of what he was looking to do, and in very little time was able to find a deal, negotiate the price with the seller, and get a buyer lined up. Boom. Alright, basically I wanted to make a video, things to avoid when looking at property. If you're a wholesaler, totally for you. If you're an investor and you came across this, hear me out because you probably agree. If you're looking to get into investing, just listen. Sit there and listen to me. Just started with the first one. Now the first one is, where's my notes? Sorry about that. Properties with no basements should be avoided for anyone who is looking to do a flip. And if you're an investor and you're looking to do the buy and hold, or if you're a wholesaler and you got a buy and hold investor, then it's got to make really good sense. But typically properties without basements I'm going to avoid like the plague. Basements add so much character to the Midwestern house. Man cave, bat cave, sex cave, whatever cave. But either way, it's a great just addition to any house, rental or not. Second tip, stay away from the 2-bedroom frame single family houses. So no investor who's flipping is going to look at a 2-bedroom frame seriously, unless we're like in the north, like Austin, Humboldt, there's pockets there, just overall north side. But if you're south side, they're a waste of your time. And even if there might be buyers out there for that, but you're gonna have to offer the seller basically nothing. Moving on. If you're getting a multi-family property under contract, if it's a multi-unit, I wouldn't say avoid, but beware of 1-bedroom apartments. So like, let's say you have a 6-unit and all 6 units are 1-bedrooms at like $500 a piece. It might look good on paper and theoretically, but if you're a landlord or an investor, just basically you don't want to deal with 6 leases as opposed to a 2 or 3 where you do it a third of the time and relatively make the same kind of money when you calculate vacancies and problems and damages and whatnot. So those are just things to know. Moving on, short sales are everywhere. Don't fall for them. A lot of times the banks aren't willing to go down where you really need them to be, point blank. Like, you really need to go down to some really low price points for you able to make a decent spread. However, if you are a realtor, you can negotiate it and then, you know, negotiate it, outsource the negotiations to another realtor or whatever, and then just put yourself on as a buyer or seller and the commission once it does close, you know. But unless you're doing like a 2-flat and you're not going to make the large spreads, it's rare, but it's possible. I've seen some people do very well with that, but they've moved on to bigger and better things at this point. So watch out for short sales. Next, stop looking at daisy chain emails. Okay, these are properties that are sent to you from a guy who knows a guy who has a guy. Stop it. The price you're gonna get it at is way above what you should be getting it at. You know, it just hasn't worked out. Yes, there's been once that I've seen a chain of 3 people. Very rare. I've actually teamed up with other wholesalers and gotten deals done, but it's only been one other person who controlled the deal. So outside of 2 people, don't do it. Side note, if anyone's emailing you telling you that they're the ones that control these properties and the list is like 500 properties long, they're lying. Just are. Moving on. Last and finally, just basically be aware of any property that's in an absolute war zone. You should know by looking at the news or doing a quick search that the property, although it's cheap, it's because there was a drive-by or because there's a mass gang issue. Pockets, people. Pockets. In any event, I gotta go. Bye.